Hello students, welcome back. On behalf of Shiksha Mandal's GS College of Commerce, I am your subject teacher for the subject Business Economics for BCCA 3rd Sem. As you all know that we have already started our Unit 2, and this Unit 2, the earlier part of Unit 2 is demand, and in the earlier lectures and earlier sessions we have seen the meaning of demand, concept of demand, definition of demand, law of demand. And now here we are going to see the curve of demand, how the demand curve is drawn along with the schedule. Before drawing the curve, any curve in economics, the schedule is compulsory or necessary. With the help of this schedule, the curves are drawn. Now here we will have a look on the demand curve. But before we see this demand curve, how it is drawn, we need to see the schedule. In the schedule, we have seen these two columns. In one column, there is a price of the commodity, and we have treated this commodity as a commodity X commodity. So this is the price of commodity X, and here quantity demanded in what measure? Quantity demanded in kgs. So here now before drawing this curve, we will see the schedule. Now when the price of commodity X, if the price is rupees 50, we will just assume that 50, then quantity demanded is 1, and when the price is getting reduced, so you need to remember the law of demand. When the prices are low, the demand is high, and when the demand will be low, when the prices are high. So when here the same thing, when the price is 50, the quantity demanded is only 1, when the price is 40, quantity demanded 2, when 30, 3, 20, 4, 10, 5. Means here we can see that when the price is minimum, at that time the quantity demanded is highest. Are you getting my point? Okay. See, here when it is 50, it is 1 only. The quantity demanded is 1 only. But when we see that when the price of the commodity X is 10, okay, rupees 10, the quantity demanded is in kgs, that is 5 kgs. Here we can see the law of demand is perfectly applicable, because when the prices are lower, the demand is high, and when the prices are high, the demand is low. This is what we need to understand in this law of demand. The same thing here we have drawn. Here on this y-axis, this x-axis, here we have taken quantity demanded, here we have seen the price of commodity X. So when price is 50, it is 1, it is 40, it is 2. So when price is 50, okay, it is 1. When it is 40, it is 2. When it is 30, it is 3. When the price of the commodity is 20, then quantity demanded is 4. And when the price of the commodity X is 10, then the quantity demanded is maximum, that is 5. So it is always says that demand curve, this is mainly your curve. You have to concern with this curve only. This is demand curve. Okay. So this curve moves like this. In economic language, it is said demand curve slopes downward from left to right. How it slopes? The demand curve slopes downward. See, it is going down. That is why it is downward from left to right. This is very simple, and this is very important. In case of a 16-mark question, it is always asked, explain the law of demand. In that law of demand, you need to calculate, you need to consider everything. In that you have to explain the concept, definition, law of demand, concept, statement of law of demand, and then you have to draw this schedule along with this demand curve. So this is the schedule and this is the demand curve. What is the schedule says? When the price is 50, quantity demanded is only 1. But when as the prices goes down, when the price is coming down, when the prices are reducing, the demand is high, and the same is reflected with the help of this curve. Now I hope this is clear. Now we will move on to the assumptions of law of demand. Now what do you mean by assumptions? Actually, when the things are assumed, when it is assumed, when certain conditions are fulfilled, we can say that assumptions means when we say that certain is the assumption. It means what? To make that law of demand successful, or to make that assumptions of law of demand. When the law of demand is applicable, when the law of demand are said to be true. So for that, the very first assumption is price of the product. Obviously, if you remember, then we have seen the factors determinant. In that factor determinants also, price is one of the important thing or one of the important factor. Because when we buy something, when a consumer goes into the market, when he buys a commodity, buys the product, first we see what is the price. Very simple example. If you need to buy something, the immediate question, your first reaction is what is the price, what are the rates, and that is what is the same thing, price of the product or price of the commodity. So first assumption is price of the existing commodity or price of the product. How much is the price, whether it is affordable for me, whether my purchasing power allows me to buy that product, okay, whether I have that money available, whether my capacity or my ability to buy that product is there or not, whether I am willing to buy the products. All these factors determinants is, in that case, the price is one of the important factor, one of the important element in case of assumption of demand. So second is income of the consumer. Again, income means your capacity, your availability of money. Okay, can you spend? Okay, before buying anything, you think twice. Ki whatever my pocket is full or not, whether the income is sufficient, whether whatever I am earning, am I able to spend on that? That is the thing. What is income of the consumer? How much he or she is earning and his capacity to pay or to buy that product is there or not. That is what is second income of the consumer. Then price of the substitute goods. Here we can take the example of jaggery and sugar. In case of law of demand, if we say or if you think that the sugar prices in the market are rising as compared to the jaggery, because jaggery is the substitute for the sugar. The sweetness which gives sugar, the same sweetness you get from jaggery also. So you will always compare, consumer will always compare the prices of these two products, these two substitutes. If the sugar rate are high as compared to the jaggery, then what he will do? He will purchase jaggery. But if the jaggery rates are high and sugar rates are low, he will buy the sugar. So this is how the law of demand works, and it establishes, that is why assumption mein price of the substitute goods is said. Then we come to the price of complementary goods. Price of complementary goods is also one of the important element of assumption. Means here we will take the example of car and fuel. For example, you need oil, you need that fuel to drive the car. But if the prices of the fuel are too high, then what the situation in the market, how it will be? The people, the consumer will not buy the cars. They will prefer other vehicles which consumes less petrol or less fuel, and that is why the price of complementary goods. Okay, as compared to the four-wheelers, two-wheelers are giving more miles. Means what you say that averages. Okay, that is why the people will not go to buy the car, but they will prefer to buy two-wheelers or other vehicles. That is why the example of car and fuel I am giving here. So price of complementary goods. Then size of population. Obviously, here the size of population, how it explains? Means the total demand of then these products, this demand will be industrial goods, manufacturing goods, FMCG goods, that is fast moving consumer goods, all kinds of goods. The demand for all kinds of goods depend upon the size of the population of that particular country. If the size means the population is less, the demand for all the goods will be high, or it depends on, it's a vice versa relationship. So size of population also plays an important role in case of law of demand. Then expectations about the future prices. The tendency of consumer, every individual behaves in a different way, and that is why law of demand says it is an analysis of consumer behavior. What is law of demand? It is the analysis of consumer behavior. Means how a consumer behaves in the market, many times it is not known. Okay, it is expectations about the future prices. Means many of the consumers, many of the buyers, they think that the certain products, here we can take the examples of coolers or ACs, okay, air conditioners. In case of that, what happens? Many of the people, they buy the product in the off seasons. It means when now this is a winter season, and in winter seasons the prices of ACs or coolers are less as compared to the summer season. Okay, are you getting my point? So what the in after before 6 months or after 6 months. The same is applicable. Now in winter season, the demand for what we say that the demand for other products, jackets hai, fur jackets hai, and all the products which are needed in winter seasons. So the demand for those products in winter season will be high, but at the same products in summer season you get in less prices. So expectations about the future prices. Then advertisement effect. Obviously in today's world, in modern era, the modern time, in that time advertisements plays a very effective role. How we can say effective? Many of the times the consumer thinks if such and such product advertisement is reflecting or it is on television sets or in radio, it means the consumers are hammered. They are always hearing from this media, that media, television media or other media that this company is selling this and this product. So obviously what a people or what a consumer or what an individual thinks, no, this product might be good because they have a lot of money to spend on the advertisements. It means their product is good. That effect, okay, the thinking of the consumer is that if the advertisement is shown on television or in radio or in another media, in today's social media, it means that company's product is good and people used to buy those products. That is what it is called, advertisement effects. Then it is taste, habits and fashions. This already we have discussed. Taste, habits and the consumer taste, the consumer habits and the consumer fashions. Okay, fashions are for limited time or stipulated time. Habits of every individual is different. Taste of individual is different. So how law of demand is applicable in these cases? Means the taste. If a consumer or what we can say that a college going students, they like more pizzas, but the elder one means the person of 30-45 age, they will prefer more to chapatis. So the taste, the habits and the fashions, they plays a little bit role in case of law of demand. It depends upon the price and demand of the product. So levels of the taxation. Now here levels of taxation, many of the times the certain goods are means we get certain goods in the market on higher rates. So the level of taxation, if the level of taxation of a certain product, a specific product is high, then people will not go to buy that product. They will wait that there will be some certain changes in the taxation policy and then we will buy those products. So levels of taxations also are an important factor, or it is one of the determinant for the law of demand. Now other factors. Now what are these other factors? Climatic conditions. Just now we have discussed this winter season, summer seasons, ACs, coolers and other products. So this comes under climatic conditions. Then change in technology. Obviously technology is changing every day. We are getting different products of electronics with high technological changes, and the demand or a law of demand plays important role in change of technology. Government policies. Policies are always changing by the government. Certain policies are for shorter duration. Certain policies are getting changed after regular intervals. So government policy is one of the factors. That is why these factors are taken in other factors. They are not the mainly factors responsible, but they are the other factors. And then customs and traditions. Okay, customs and traditions. How we can take the example? Take the example of Diwali. Okay, there are certain festivals, certain occasions. The Indian mentality, what it says, although you don't have money, but due to the custom and tradition, you have to follow the rules and regulations. And for that, if you need the money, or although you don't have the sufficient amount, but still you will take loan from someone else, but you will follow the customs and traditions, and that is how the law of demand is related with these other factors. So in today's session, what we have seen, the schedule of demand, and according to the schedule of demand, we have seen the demand curve. Okay, I think this is clear for you. Then we have seen how it moves. Demand curve slopes downward from left to right. And then we have seen the assumptions. There are 10 assumptions: price of the product, income of the consumer, price of the substitute goods, price of the complementary goods, size of the population, expectations about the future prices, advertisement effect, taste, habits, fashions, levels of taxation, levels of government policies, then other factors which which is climatic conditions, change in technology, government policy, customs and traditions. Now this is sufficient for today's session. In the next session, we are going to see the exceptions of law of demand. By the time, go through the videos, study materials, the study notes which are provided to you, read it regularly. Very soon we are going to give you the assignments. So for that, get ready by the time. Thank you. Stay safe.